And we're live. It's Adam Post. That's me with Eric Weathers at Eric Weathers at Twitter.
This one right here. What's up?
Creator, letterer, artist, thinker, ladies' man, father, bearded man, Malin lookalike. Because of Well, you're better than Malin in a lot of ways. Don't tell Malin I said that. Don't let it get around.
I got to put it way down here if I'm going to be in Malin territory.
Yeah. Make your eyebrows should be undiscernible. No, Malin is quite wonderful. But enough about Malin. You're wonderful. Yeah. Congratulations on Battlebrick Road.
Thank you.
I mean, this is the way it's supposed to go. You did your prior project. It did really well. People were excited about Flying Fortress. And now you've put out Battlebrick Road and people are excited about that. It's like, that's the natural progression. It's the way of things.
That's the way it should be.
It's the way it should be. And it was so cool that you got a Kenneth Rocafort cover. Started a trading card because you love his work. And he is a really good guy. I've gotten to, he reached out and we talked a couple times. And he's just fantastic. So having him in CG, I know is amazing. But it feels great to have him on your project, right?
It's without sounding cliche, it's a dream come true, honestly.
Yeah, because you were talking about him, and you were like, as soon as you saw he was around CG, you were on him like white on
pounced right away, and it was really just like, "Hey, welcome to CG." That was my tweet, my DM to him, and then he said there was a little bit of back and forth, and he was saying, your Battlebrick Road looks awesome. Scarecrow looks fantastic. I love the design. And I said, well, I do need a trading card for Scarecrow for the campaign. Would you be interested in drawing that? And he said, yeah, of course. And so that's how that happened. And then when I saw the artwork, he had sent 2 updates, like process shots to me. And both of them only showed Scarecrow, and then I get the full thing, full color, and it's Scarecrow and Tin Man's in the background, and there's a dead flying monkey on the ground, and it was way more than I was expecting. Just blew me away, and I said this is amazing, and people are gonna want a cover. Can we make this a cover? And he said yes. So
he's such a great guy. He's such a great guy, and he's such a good communicator. He and I were talking about him potentially doing something for me because he had a little spot in his schedule. I was like, oh my God, that would be so amazing. So we talked a little bit about it. He's just an excellent communicator. He's so upfront, which I really respect that about anybody that I'm working with. But it's hard on creative people because, as a creative person, you're thinking about the art and the project and the work. Yeah. And he's very disciplined with like, look, this is what the fee is. This is what the utilization of the work is. It's important for me to be able to control the color and the presentation, and I need to know what the usage of it's going to be. Not that he's not flexible, and he's very respectful of other people's needs and what they're trying to accomplish. But he's so direct and so good at protecting his work and having it being shown properly. Which is
it's definitely somebody that he knows. He's been around. He knows what to do. He knows what to deal with. So
and he really handles himself well. I mean, you and me are just starting in CG and doing our things and stuff. And these amazing Bigfoot super guys like Rocafort, Shane Davis, Dan Fraga, and now Andy Smith, Cecil. Cecil, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
bring in the pain. It's exciting as hell, and I love that Ethan is doing a lot of these morning shows or more regular morning shows now.
Yeah, I wish that I could like hop on, but he's always like, if he does it on a Thursday or a Friday. Today was a little different, but I could hop in and say hello to everybody. But
I think he's going to do it, semi regularly. And you've been great on shows as I've seen you lately. You get on you're like funnier and more comfortable than ever. It's like, just let Eric talk.
It's definitely it's difficult to get in on Ethan's show, especially when there's more people. It's difficult to like get a word in edgewise, and I always feel like I'm being talked over. That's sort of the joke, is I start talking and then you know, somebody's also just started talking at the same time,
Yeah.
and I just keep getting cut off.
Yeah,
But it's funny. It's become a thing now. It's like, you know, Eric's trying to talk, but he can't. That and then now they started calling me Lettering Jesus because of my hair. So we got that thing going on now too.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
really cool. Well, you are a Lettering Jesus, and as I was telling you in the beginning of the show, which is why we started, I don't know, 90 seconds late. It was my fault, not Eric's. He was ready. I'm asking Eric to take a look at a lettering challenge that I have for an upcoming project, and we're not going to go. I would love to go over the pages, but I don't need another narrative on me these days. So by the time you see the pages, you won't even know what project I'm talking about. Okay, and it's not the Mermaids. For the love of God, yes, Billy, who's actually a great artist as well. Billy, make sure your profile on Twitter has your portfolio on there, because I really haven't had time. I feel bad. I haven't had time to look at your work except for like very little of it. It all looks great, and someone's going to snap you up fast. But make sure people can see a link to your profile if you're available for freelance. Billy is asking, Adam, are you ready to go 3 for 3 this week and sell me another book? This book I am ready to sell you, and the Kenneth Rocafort cover, at the absolute very least, is a cover that you have to have. It's a book you have to have. Violet, great to see you. Thank you for that smiley face. I think that's what that is. Can't really see because my screen is small. I don't have eyes anymore. Eric Huffles, one of my favorite Huffles.
He's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, there's like 4 Huffles that are running around, but this particular Huffle is a good Huffle. Leg Kick, great to see you. See you on Twitter and stuff too. Leg Kick sends me article ideas for videos, and I just haven't been doing those lately. But I appreciate that very much. The Kenneth Rocafort cover. See, Billy? Click on that link. We got to back it. There's a lot of other good stuff on this campaign too, but that was, that cover is really, really something else. Remember, we were on Ethan's show that night, and you're like, well, I guess we could put the cover out. And what did it do, like 10 or 15,000 that night?
Yeah, that cover over the course of like 2 days brought in like 20 grand.
Yeah, it blew people's underwears off.
Yeah, it really did.
Which is why everyone should, if you're publishing something, you got to do a good work. You have to have something good on the inside as well.
Yep.
To get extra eyes on it, it definitely doesn't hurt to have a Kenneth Rocafort do the cover if you can afford it. Amanda, good to see you, Amanda. I know, Billy. Can you believe Billy hasn't backed this one yet? I tell you what, I don't know what's going on. Dojo Kun Comics, great to see you. Hail to the chat. Hail to Dojo Kun Comics. Fan Friction, #1 DC. Oh, you said this previously. We are not in Washington, D.C. anymore. Thank goodness. We are not. We are not. We are in cyberspace together, having a good time, sharing each other's energy, and having a good one. Amanda, you're really looking forward to this one. I don't blame you. Eric's been working on this idea for a long time with his writing partner, and he keeps just pouring more and more good stuff into it. And I haven't seen any of the secret pages, but I've seen what Eric's been updating. Eric and I do share a colorist, the beautiful and talented Farah Nuramzilla, of course, and she's amazing, and she's doing a incredible bang up job on this. She's really focusing on it with you, and she's very proud to do a good job, and she takes great feedback too. But don't anyone else hire her, because me and Eric need her. No, you can hire her. Tungsten, great to see you. Hail Adam, hail Eric, hail the chat, hail that side of the world, Tungsten. We need you in charge on that side of the world. We're going to work this out together.
We do.
You have a Wizard of Oz soft spot. Amanda, I don't know if you want to hear this or not. I hope you're sitting down. I will tell you, because this is a true story. I just told someone this yesterday, and it wasn't about your book. I'm not quite sure how it came up. It's got something to do with me. So I was in the 3rd grade, Mrs. Kazaza's class. I was a student at the time. Makes sense. And we did a play. What was the play? Wizard of Oz. What was my character? And I am the wizard.
Oh, okay.
That's my big thing. I was the wizard of Oz in a 3rd grade play, and that should explain a lot.
It kind of does.
Supplement. Yeah. What do you think? It suits me, right?
It really does. Yeah, I think I wouldn't have it any other way than you being the wizard.
High school play, no. 3rd grade play, yes. Like that, I peaked in 3rd grade. I was the Wizard of Oz in 3rd grade. Everybody was like, man, he's a great wizard. My grandfather was alive at the time. which is good, because he made me this cool purple robe, which I kept for years. And then surprisingly, a lot has happened between now and third grade. I kind of lost track of it. I didn't lose everything, though. I do have some funny relics from the past, and we'll whack some stuff out another night. But in any event, yeah. He needs to know about Billy needs to know about the supplemental book. So let's talk about. Well, should we answer that yet? Let's answer that question, because Billy does like to buy stuff and he's bossing us around, but he's throwing down money. So let's talk supplemental. So there's a regular book. How many pages?
So the regular supplemental book is an add-on you can get, or as a part of its own bundle. It is a sort of behind the scenes book. It has full character. It's going to have all the character bios. Any of the fan art that I got over these several months is going to go into that.
You're printing fan art?
Yeah. The original ash can that Zeb and I created way back in 2017, early 2018 is going to go in there. That has been fully inked and lettered and colored. So you're going to see it sort of in its stages. You're going to see sort of all of the developmental stuff that went behind the scenes to make Battle Brick Road happen, from old character designs, old pages that got cut from when I was originally drawing it, all sorts of just sort of extra little goodies. If you have backed Flying Fortress, the back half of that book, not even half, the back 20, 30 pages or so of that book is going to be similar to what you're getting here. Just a lot of extras. Any of the artwork, so trading card artwork, bookmark artwork, all of that stuff, you're going to be able to see it bigger than just having it on the card. All of that kind of stuff. Anything Battle Brick Road, or at the time when it was called Operation Zephyr, we're putting it in there.
I remember from back then. That was a while ago. You have like design sketches of Scarecrow.
Yeah, and I have a whole bunch more in the vault, so to speak, too, and you're going to be able to see all the iterations of different characters. And
I love that stuff, that collateral stuff. And even if you only make whatever it is, 100 or 200 copies of a supplemental book, like there's really no way for us as publishers to be able to get that kind of extra cool material to people at any kind of viable price or way of doing it, except for being able to do it with crowdfunding, because we're already sending you the books for crowdfunding. So you couldn't go and market a supplemental book like that, which is why I'm kind of drawn to always doing the making of books with the scripts and the layouts and extra designs and things like that, because the process of making it is pretty incredible, isn't it, Eric? It
really is. And Zeb and I are being a little bit more collaborative too. So it is not and never has been this is the solid script and you draw it as I have written it. I came to Zeb with the idea several years ago, and I said, I have this idea for a neat Wizard of Oz story. Here's my initial idea. Here are some character designs. And he took that and really injected a lot of life into it. And I, through the process of drawing it, again, some of the stuff you're going to see in the supplemental book is it's not really like the opening of the book, like that page right there you're scrolling on. Originally, it was supposed to be a Jeep in the desert, and that was pretty much it. And I thought, and wouldn't it be much more cool? We're in the future. Let's give them hover bikes and make the car a hover car. Like, let's give it a little bit more sci-fi look to it. So maybe in the script it says being chased by, they're in their wagon being chased by people on motorcycle. But I went a step further.
You know what?
A little bit more.
One of the things that's really cool about Battle Brick Road is you've given some thought to creating the world separate from just the characters. So your characters are in this interesting world, but the world is fleshed out enough that we could see another character in this world and still tell like a really interesting story.
Yeah, I like world building a lot. I like figuring out where these characters live and figure out what their motivations are inside of like it's important to me to know, like, what is the Scarecrow's backstory? What is Tin Man's backstory for us in our version of this? Because it informs a lot of stuff, just even on the artistic side, about how we want them to look. There's a reason Scarecrow is covered head to toe. You know, and all of this stuff will be revealed in one way or the other. It is just a neat way, I feel, a more enjoyable way to go about something than just, oh, they're just in a city and it's just a city and it's not a big deal. And let's just...
You know, I've been studying writing a lot over the last month or so, and my way of studying is I read Vaughn's scripts and then I criticize them mercilessly. No, that's not how I learn. Well, although I was surprised because he asked me to read something, I was able to give him intelligent feedback. At least I thought it was intelligent, and he was kind to listen to me. But I could kind of see, like, all right, from what I've been learning lately, here's some comments that I would have. And he's like, oh, that's interesting. You know, we discussed a little bit. But, you know, for me, I've been studying on Film Courage, the YouTube channel, and also read Save the Cat, which is a classic writing book, and another one that Adam friended suggested about developing ideas and like what components of ideas you need to have to make sure that it's a hit and there isn't something kind of boring about whatever your story is, or there's not enough there. And Film Coverage is great. One of the professors was talking about how now there's a lot of interest in story worlds apart from the story of the characters. And they literally and actually are really looking at, like, they'll look at Battlework Road and they'll see, like, all right, this is the story of these characters and it takes place in this world, but they want to see opportunities in the world as well, because it gives that franchise and the spin-off opportunity.
Well, yeah, I mean, hopefully we can make something that's interesting in more than one way. You know, I want you to be able to look at Oz and feel like there's more to it than what you're seeing in the panel layout, more to it than what you're seeing in the book. Like, hopefully, if I do my job well, you'll see a depth, but I don't know. I mean, maybe it's different.
There's a richness to the world. I mean, I can really, you know, we've talked about your book a couple of times. We've been on streams together, but there is a richness to the world. You can see that there's a lot going on there. I guess Ethan really has it well as well with the Cyberfrog world right now, because there's a hell of a lot going on because of the invasion. So it's an apocalyptic setting, and some people lived, some people didn't. The people who did live learned to adapt. So there's a lot in that world. The other thing it was very interesting, this guy was saying, which I was like, that would have occurred to me as a fantasy, but not in reality. They're actually buying people's worlds, and sometimes not their story, because they have their own screenplay writers and they have their own producers, and they can put teams together on stuff. And they think in terms of, like, so they're looking at, you know, Marvel franchises, Star Wars franchises. It's like, all right, well, this is the world of Star Wars. How many stories can you tell in Star Wars that could be compelling and could be money makers? And the answer is, you know, it's kind of unlimited. So you can imagine, like, being able to sell the world, maybe, but not your story. And like a check is a check, you know. And, if they want to buy the world, you know, buy the world. But it's very interesting, and there's just so much to learn. For me, I want to start writing some of my own material. But I also, if not that, because of the nature of being time consuming, I'm not really having the sharpest skill for it, at least being able to kind of understand more of what it is I'm looking for in, you know, my hero and my hero's journey, and the nemesis for the hero. And I think it's going to just make to better and better and more compelling comics for us, as we all kind of, you know, everybody's kind of boning up on all their skills, which is exciting.
And I think it's one of the unique things about the way that Zeb and I are working together is he's got the character stuff figured out. Like, he's really got, this is not just a plot driven story. These are characters that hopefully you guys care as much about them as I do, as Zeb and I do, because he's really, really fleshed them out in ways that, you know, if you're just, say, familiar with the story, they're just cardboard cutouts of archetypes, really. And Zeb has taken it way, way more deeper than I ever could, and fleshed them out way better than I ever could. And it's just been a huge blessing to be able to work with somebody that has the mind to be able to do that. And also, him not being so iron fisted around it that he's not allowing me to.
Yeah, so egotistical, maybe and aloof, and just saying like, well, listen, this is the right way to do it because he's willing to have a conversation about it.
Exactly. And a lot of times I will send him artwork, whether it's a character design or a page layout or whatever, and he'll be like, oh, that'll change maybe something he has in a future issue. So like Battlebrick Road, this one here, Operation Zephyr, is the first 2 chapters put together in one book. And this one you get to learn about Dorothy starting her journey and meeting that man right there, the Scarecrow.
Everybody loves this guy.
And her learning about the world. You're gonna kind of learn about it as she learns about it. But the book 2 is already written. Book 3 and 4 are already plotted out.
Wow.
So like we have big plans. When all is said and done, the full story will be thick, like Flying Fortress thick, like over 200 pages.
Wow.
So I've got a lot of work ahead of me, but I'm up to it. I'm a busy man.
Yeah, you're getting stuff done. And this sculpt is great. Someone sent this to you as a surprise, right?
Zeb sent it to me as a surprise. His cousin did that, and I don't know what we're going to do with it. The fans have all said that they want one, and they want a Scarecrow side story, like a one-shot Scarecrow comic, which I think would be fantastic.
So do you have much action with Scarecrow and Dorothy together doing stuff?
Yeah, you're going to see that in the first chapter, in the first book. Book 2 is like all the full team together. We're going to start really seeing them, learn about each other a little bit more, but also have to fight with one another, not against one another, but with one another, against the evil forces of the Watchers of the East and West. The first 2 chapters are more of like, this is Dorothy and Toto, and then this is Dorothy, Toto, and Scarecrow.
Well, it's really cool. I'm getting kind of like maybe a Kitty Pryde and Wolverine vibe of if you know that miniseries from the 80s of Scarecrow and Dorothy. It's just he's just so cool, and she's a woman, but she's more of a kick-ass. She can kick ass more than Kitty can.
She'll get there, and the way that we have her right now is a lot of the art you've seen that I've teased. If Dorothy's face is in there, she's usually like yelling or surprised or whatever, because she does have some military experience, but she's not an active duty soldier. She's never encountered a flying ape in her life, and when she meets them, they're ripping her fellow crewmates on her ship to pieces. She's falling through the sky. The old thing of have the cover of the comic show what's happening inside the comic. Well, we're doing that.
I sometimes I don't always follow that rule. I think it was a rule. I did 4 covers, actually 5 for College of the Dead graduation day. I don't think one of a couple of things are happening that are indirectly sort of happening inside. But yeah, no, I like it. I like it a lot. It's a very dynamic cover, and your gorillas are badass.
Thank you. And it's been a lot of fun. I've drawn a lot of apes over the past few weeks, and it's been like I'm wrapping up the last 2 pages of chapter 1, and it's one final hurrah of me drawing angry flying primates and bullets flying and all of that. So it's a lot of fun.
I think by now just about everybody knows what Battlebrick Road is, but just the quick rundown of what Battlebrick Road is for anybody that hasn't heard about it lately or might have forgotten or hasn't seen it. The quick elevator pitch, Battlebrick Road.
Battlebrick Road is a future dark sci-fi military retelling of the Wizard of Oz.
Fantastic. We all heard Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, Wizard of Oz with guns, as you like to say.
I like to say that, but that's you're beyond that now, which is just great.
Yeah, absolutely, we are beyond that, and I don't want to oversell it or undersell it in any way. So it's difficult to.
No, the way you described it was
right. Yeah, it's difficult to find the right words sometimes to describe it, because in the simple terms, you could be like, oh, it's like Mad Max meets BioShock meets like a Tom Clancy game thrown in, mixed in together with a Wizard of Oz. And that's kind of how it started. Was back in 2017, I was learning. I had wrapped up Flying Fortress. I didn't want to do comics, so I was like, I still want to create. So I started digitally painting. And one of the things that I had heard was to make a little portfolio if you wanted to go into game design or concept art. Mix up two genres and then make a thing out of it. Make a portfolio piece with character designs, weapon designs, vehicles, all that. So I had started that, and I had said, oh, because I was playing a game called Division. It's a Tom Clancy game back then. And I thought, okay, well, if I take this, throw it in with Wizard of Oz, each character could be like a class in a game. You have a heavy weapons, a sniper, regular grenadier, things like that. And it just sort of fit. And then I thought this would make a great comic. So, just when I try to get out, they pull me back in. But it has gone through so many iterations. But I think each time Zeb and I would talk about it, it would just get better and better and better and deeper and more robust. And it's not just a Wizard of Oz book. It is not just, okay, well, Dorothy, she lives on a farm and she has an Aunt Em and an Uncle Henry, and she's got a dog named Toto, and then she's going to get swept up in a storm and land in this magical place, and she meets these munchkins, and there's a witch, and then they go on this thing, and there's poppy fields. We're not trying to like just recreate the wheel. I have been very specific in trying to make everything not obvious that it's Oz. Even the original name, Operation Zephyr, now it's a subtitle, but it was the original name. Like, I didn't want a name that was just Oz or Battlefront Oz or whatever, because every remake of Oz has that with it. Even when Todd McFarlane did it with the Nightmare Oz or whatever he called it, there was just always this. Oz has a certain feel to it with the yellow and gold and the yellow brick road and the magical whimsicalness to it. And I just want to more make a nod towards that than just be like, oh, hey, this is Oz, and let me just throw some guns at it. So even Zeb had shopped his script around to some writer friends of his, and he said every time they would read it, they would forget that they're reading a Wizard of Oz story. Instead, they're very much like, oh, there would be some hint, something, oh yeah, this is Wizard of Oz. And then that would get them excited, but it wasn't like, oh, I know what's going to happen because I've seen the movie or read the book.
Fascinating. So. And we've gotten a lot of excellent questions that I've missed. So a shame on me. While I find the questions, everyone, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel, click the bell for notifications, because it is the right thing to do.
It's what feeds you emotionally.
Yeah, it makes me feel more like a man, and I'm almost there. And we're very close to 1,500 subs, which is phenomenal for me. So I really appreciate it. And, I've been able to use my power for good. I've been hosting people every night at 9 o'clock, except for last night, because Art T-Bear invited me on, and I missed that guy a lot. And I basically went on his pontificator show. Ruined it.
Really, you ruin everything when you show up, though, right?
Yeah, well, it's my hair. It's my religion. It's my way. Yeah. It's my constant soda drinking and my rude coughing during shows, and my disregard for all the good people that work so hard to make me look this good. Apex Comics says, Adam, you have your mermaid world. Grab a copy of the Mermaids. Yes, absolutely true. EpicMermaids.com. We have started selling more mermaid books, which is kind of cool. We're still just under 10,000 on it. But we are completing the production on it. We'll be shipping by April 2021, if not sooner. And I am excited to be selling more copies of that book. I have a lot of other cool things I'm working on too, but that project took forever. And it is the most well thought out, detailed world of anything I've ever been involved in. So, and it had so much great help from so many people. Yeah, it's such as this massive project that needs to get released. Hopefully I do other things and I don't have to just have one main. I like to do different things, but it's not just me. A lot of great people helping me get this stuff done. Adam Post, shut up already. Will you please confirm, Adam Post? Shush, Adam. Confirm for me that the art for both covers is in the supplemental. Interesting question. The art for both covers, is that in the supplemental?
Yes, that'll be in the supplemental. That'll be part of being able to view it.
So will you do a pin-up full color version of the art of both covers? Or how are they going to be in the supplemental? In what form?
Well, and the supplemental is, again, a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. So those shots that Kenneth sent me over Twitter are going to be there. The artwork, both in line art and colored form. You're going to be able to see. I kind of want to lay it all out there. So yes, you're going to see that, and my pencils and colors and.
Okay. So we'll see the final and the build-ups to the final.
Exactly. Everything. Gorgeous. If I have something with Battle Brick Road from over the years, I'm putting it in there. Even like Corey Barton and
the other
Lucent.
Clayton. No,
Lucent. What's his name? Michael Bancroft. They had a color off on one of my.
I remember that.
And I'm going to put that in the book too. Have both of their colors up there. One of them made a graphic like a fight card.
Yeah,
for an MMA fight. I want to put that in there and just tell about what happened and how it turned out and all that.
If you guys are thinking about making your own books, when you can get access to process work before the finished, in addition to the finished product, and you can make comparisons, you really can learn a lot. It's fascinating. Even if you see if you look at my books, you see well, I don't know why Adam made that choice, or, hey, look, the artist didn't even follow the script here. Why did they let that through? Yeah. It's interesting.
A lot of that.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of funny. It's, but you could, it's not always necessary. Like if I'm working with an artist, I don't want them to always follow the script.
Yeah.
If they've got a better way to do it, but I would like them to tell us well, look, I want it to show emotion this better way. I think this is more dynamic. Let us know, and just don't slip it through or whatnot. And by all means, don't disregard it or make the characters look like they're wooden and, completely zoned out or something.
Yeah. Like that. And here's an example. In the script, they are on the Cyclone ship. And the way that Zeb had written it was Dorothy's in the back with the other soldiers, and she's talking to these other soldiers, and then the captain and the pilot are up front, and you cut back and forth between them. And I was like, it feels kind of, one, she's talking to somebody that we don't really know, and they're going to die. They're going to get ripped in half in 2 pages. The way that most carrier transports for soldiers is there's no windows. You just sit in your seat and you just wait for the bay door to open, and then you run out, or you jump out the door when the green light turns on. So, and they were supposed to be looking out the window and talking. So I was like, how about he didn't have to change the script, but I did. So I was like, how about, why don't we move her up front? So she's looking out the window and having the same conversation, but she's talking to the captain. Then there's more, it cut out a lot of, I felt it streamlined it more. And he was like, yeah, absolutely. That makes total sense. Why didn't I write it that way the first time? So,
well, he comes at it from a different standpoint, which is interesting, right. Because he's got to build up to, he's got all of those things he's thinking about when he's constructing, writing stuff. And then you're looking at it, you're saying, yeah, but you don't look at it with the same baggage that he does.
Exactly.
He can just come back and say, well, this doesn't work because, or he can say, yeah, this is great. This does work because.
Yeah, and there have been those times where well, why don't we do this? He's like, well, we're not doing that because of XYZ on page 17. I was like, oh, that makes sense.
It's so cool to have a partner like that where you don't need to retain everything, and neither does he. It's just kind of like this great collaboration.
Yeah, it's absolutely been a collaboration from the start. It's our book. I mean, I came to him and I said, let's do this together, because I read some of his stuff in the past. I was like, I like what you're doing. And we both live in the same town too. So we run into each other every once in a while. So it's been easy to kind of work together too. Because once every few months we go have a beer and catch up. And I'm like, oh, I've got this done. This is what I'm thinking about for how we're going to do lines introduction and design and things like that. So
that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love being able to work with people and continue to work with those people for as long as possible. It just makes it so much easier. You have such a shorthand, and it's fun. It's fun as hell.
Mhm.
Orbital, thanks for the tip. I was talking about writing earlier. Both were Story Trump Structure is a great book to build your writing skills. So it's definitely something I will check out. Dan Lawless, who is a great artist in his own right. A lot of people know who Dan Lawless is. I know I recognize this name. Usually the best comics are done by someone who writes and draws. And, that's pretty damn true. You can think of a lot of examples. What's better than being able to control everything? We could make a polystone statue of Scarecrow.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know how to do that?
Nope.
I think I do know someone who knows how to do that. I'll have to ask. Do you know Chris Renkabot, who floats around?
I know the name, yeah.
Renkabot, he knows how to make toy stuff. So,
cool.
yeah, and statues and stuff, and even like short run 3D printed stuff at high quality, commercial stuff. So he's very together. He's very good. Scarecrow action figure, yeah, that would be great. But a statue would be a little bit more realistic in terms of the cost and the out of pocket and stuff like that. Especially if
that's definitely what I envision would be like a statue like you would get with a like you said, they're Bowen Designs or something like that.
Yeah, very doable, and it looks like people would want it.
Yeah, and we'll see how the rest of the books do. But
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
we can't get too crazy. Like Billy actually, who's asking the supplemental questions, keeps reminding me like, well, you should do a Mermaids coloring book, and I'm going to buy a few of them, and it's so kind of him to keep reminding me and offer to be supportive like that. I have to get the main book done first, and each product it does, like if you want to do it right and make sure it doesn't get damaged and it's all like perfect and it's done the way it should be done. We do have to be very careful when we're making these things. Eddie Winkler has an opinion, and here it is. In my opinion, BBR really is more than just another take on the Oz story. All right, so far we approve of his opinion. The more Eric talks about it and shows off the art, the less I think about Oz.
That's exactly how I want it to go.
You guys are really hitting on the same level there. And me too. Me too. I don't, there's no Oz to this thing. There's no Oz in the title. I don't see, I don't even see a wizard. I see monkeys flying around, but that doesn't say Oz to me. That's just like monsters.
Yeah, it's that's actually decent. Yeah, that's not a bad rundown of that saying Wizard of Oz meets G.I. Joe.
That's why he's our favorite Huffles.
Yeah, exactly. It is, again, I'm trying to nod towards Wizard of Oz and not just be like, hey, here's Wizard of Oz and let me put another coat of paint on it. So, it is what it is. And hopefully when it gets in your guys' hands and you read it and you love it and you want more, and hopefully the intent that we're trying to make is coming forward. So,
yeah, you have a lot of authenticity about how you care for the project and how you want it to be done properly and how you're excited about it, and just your energy bringing Kenneth Rocafort onto the team as well, just for that special cover. It does say a lot, and I think that's why the campaign has done so well. Although it can always do better, and we would love to break six figures. We'd love to break six figures tonight.
Well, let's do that. And I tell you what, if we don't get six figures on this one, we're going to get it on book 2. Just on the variant cover alone, what we have cooked up for Battlebrick Road 2. I don't know if you've seen that.
Oh, are you showing it around?
People, it's been teased. You may have seen a video a few months ago around December. I may have the month wrong, but a few months ago, you may have seen a video that Ethan posted that says, "Oh, let me just ink this John Malin cover."
Yeah. It's great because everyone really does appreciate Eric Weathers and his help of keeping Comicsgate in good letters and just being fun and being around all the time and being a great part of things. And people want you to hit those numbers. So you will hit those numbers on your own power, but also because we all lift each other up here. So
yeah,
honestly, that's why I don't push the Mermaids. I'm not pushing the Mermaids hard. It's a great project and it's really good. It's just, that different projects are going to sell at different levels. And this is something Eric's been working on this project forever. So if you appreciate Eric and you respect Eric and you appreciate Comicsgate, at least you're back in the Kenneth Rocafort cover at the very least, because it's freaking amazing. And you know you're going to love it. And you know you could flip it on eBay for, cost plus 50% at least, if not double when this thing comes out. So because this is his passion project. So this is like,
absolutely.
Yeah, this has got to come out. Billy says, can you confirm the art for both covers and supplemental? Oh, sorry, that one we already.
Yeah, we couldn't cover that.
We did cover that. Eric and Adam needs more machine guns. There's going to be plenty of machine guns. I can guarantee that. Maybe. Creed and Groken for me take my top spot, followed by Lucent. Oh, we're talking about creative projects. Yeah, Creed is going to be coming out. It's going to be announced, launched, I think, on the 14th.
Oh, that's that soon, huh?
Yep. Legkick is inviting me over to his house. I'm getting a little nervous about him.
I would.
But I think he's on the West Coast, so it's safe. I'm on the East Coast. No, he's a good guy. Billy wants to spend money. Well, Billy, you are going to have the opportunity. Oh, sold. We backed him?
Yeah, he backed it.
That was easy. All right. Thanks, Billy. You'll love it.
Thank you very much.
You'll love it. You really will. You really will. I mean, Eric is putting 300% into it. And when Eric succeeds, we all succeed. When I succeed, a couple of us succeed. No, we all succeed. Billy says, pretty sure if you order the poster with the book, it will be included. Let's see what Adam says. I don't know. I think probably didn't even read that right. Whatever I said is just more confusing than before I put the thing up. All right. Pretty sure if you order the poster with the book, it, a pronoun, it will be included. Let's see what Adam does. Oh, does as opposed to say? Oh, all right. That's could not be more confusing, except if I was able to translate it into Spanish, which I am not able to do.
Let's not do that.
At which point, a small percentage, perhaps 30% of us would understand what I was throwing down. If you order the poster, I can promise you will get the poster, and it'll be in perfect condition, and you will love it. You will absolutely love it. Leg Crick says, have you ever read the first Marvel and DC crossover, The Wizard of Oz, drawn by John Buscema? What?
Never heard of it.
So that you could get used to the world, or just watch the movie. Adam Post. You're scaring me more, Leg Kick. I mean, it's probably me, but it's almost as if none of us are making any sense. Marvel and DC had a crossover. The first crossover I'm aware of is the X-Men Teen Titans in the 80s. Maybe 82, maybe 83. Oh, no. There would have been other crossovers like Superman, Spider-Man.
Yeah, there was that. Yeah. There was a crossover with the real world, Superman and Muhammad Ali.
No, it's not a Marvel DC crossover.
No, I know. It's still a crossover.
But that is a crossover. 3D resin prints. Yes. On the statues. Oh, there's Rankabot. Rank. All right. So, Chris, if you're listening and you look like you're listening based on the expression of your icon, your avatar, what we're looking at is similar to that other Resident Evil statue from what you and I were talking about, 5 inches tall or something like that. And let's take a look at what we need to do. Does this sculpt look like it translates automatically, or do we need a new sculpt or another version of that sculpt? I know you already know the answers to these questions. So if you want to let me know, and then I'll get the two of you in touch, but I'm happy to help too. But yeah, I was talking about doing stuff like that with Chris. Chris and I used to, Chris used to be in the Personality Comics studio together. So we know each other from way back at my place. And he and I are thick as friends right now. So I don't call him a thief. Yeah, he's a good guy and he knows his stuff. He's made a lot of commercial stuff. Okay. Opportunity. Yeah. So anybody can get in touch with Rankabot. Chris is great people. He's really good people. Hey, the Splinter, good to see you. Billy says this, the coloring book idea is much more for you than it is for me, of course, and support it. Oh, yeah, $5. Yeah, I appreciate it, Billy. I really like the idea. A couple of people other CG people have hit me up out of the blue before I was talking about saying, do a coloring book of the mermaids. And the answer to that is yes, I will. As soon as we get the book, completely ready to go, we'll start putting something like that together. and then we can talk about it. Yeah, the splintering is great, people. Leg kick 1, Eddie. Leg kick 1. You have to get to know him. He's a good guy. There's leg kick. All right. Let's see any other quickie comments we have here. I do want to make sure we take a look at the tiers, and then we can discuss the tiers a little bit more in depth so that we can answer some questions rather than me confusing everybody. Leg kick also says, look it up, Adam Post. Do some homework for once. It was the Wizard of Oz Treasury Edition drawn by John Buscema. It was the first DC Marvel crossover, I believe, made in 1978. That is very interesting. Huh. It's a piece of comic history.
I'd never heard of it.
Very interesting. Yeah, hadn't heard of it either. Lekik is a sharp guy, so if he says it, it is so.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, we're going to want to do that. And so Marvel and DC in the Wizard of Oz is so odd. All right, let's talk some tier action, some hot tier action. I love the $75 feature tier. What does that include?
Let me look. It's been a while.
Why do I love it? I love it because of the price point. That's the right price point. It's perfect. Perfect price point for people that are excited about the campaign and they don't want to just get the basic, but maybe they can't get the fanciest. As John Malin kind of has explained, this is perfect.
Yeah, so it is sort of the you get one of everything tier, without the big poster. So you're going to get both covers signed. You're going to get the
both covers is yours and
cover. Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to get 11 by 17 posters of both of those fold-out posters, which you can see right here on my wall. Those are already here, ready to go. That'll be part of your shipment.
Really cool.
This supplemental book, which we talked about, and all of that. Every book that gets a signature is going to be signed by both me and Zeb, because, like I said, we both live in the same town. So we'll once the shipment gets here, we'll have a signing party. I'm going to have a signing party tomorrow. I travel to Oklahoma to go sign Monster MD with Von Klaus, but we're talking about tiers here. So that's $75 tier. Plus, you're going to get everything you.
Like if I bring that up, Adam's going to talk about it for a half an hour.
Yeah,
damn right. You're damn right. I am.
And of course, you're going to get every stretch goal. So right now, what do we have unlocked? We have 2 trading cards, 3 trading cards, one of those 2. We have a patch, which I have the patch. It's on the other side of the room.
Wow, very cool.
Bookmark. The book quality has been upgraded. We'll probably do some sort of foil.
All of this is in the feature tier?
Well, I'm saying those are also the stretch goals, which come with, if you back the book, you're getting all the stretch goals.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Guys, seriously. He's giving it all away. Back both covers and supplemental. That is the tier to back. Unless there's something, if you have more of a budget, then we can look at fancier. But
yeah, we have one more fancy tier, but
okay. I don't mean to interrupt you. It's just I think that's an excellent tier. There's no way to even keep track of all the stuff that's in there. You have the supplemental book, which has tons of making of stuff. You have both covers, and one of them is Roquefort's cover, plus posters, plus all the stretch goal items. That is a steal at $75.
Yeah, and below that is the 24 by 36 poster, which is hanging up on a wall that you can't see here. Okay. Those are their own separate thing. They ship separately. I've seen a question pop up. I got one in my email. I think it's the same guy asking if it's going to ship before the books. I can ship them before the books. I mean, I have a whole stack of them right there. I guess,
honestly, it's probably a good idea, because then that's out of the way.
Yeah.
Because you can't ship the books before you have the books. But if you can execute on these and they're going to ship separately anyway, get the old shipping juices flowing again.
That's not a bad idea.
Great suggestion, guys.
I think I'll go ahead and get some tubes ordered, and we'll get those out.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
See, guys, thanks for the suggestions. 24 by 36, guys. I know you know this, but 2 feet by 3 feet. It's not movie poster size. Who even has room on their wall? Well, I have a big poster on the back, but 2 feet. Is that? That's a little bit better. But 2 feet by 3 feet is awesome. Well, movie poster is really 2840. That's merchandise. Right. Yeah, I used to be in the poster business back in the day. The rock and roll posters and stuff are like your size, 24 by 36.
They're bigger than the posters that you get at like Target. You go to the toy section and they have those posters. They still have those those whatever they are, the displays, and then posters are rolled up. They're bigger than that.
Yeah, those are like 2335.
Yeah, they're like A1 or whatever, A3, somewhere in there. They're a little bit
there's
smaller.
Letters, there's numbers, there may be French fries included. Yeah. But in this case, 24 by 36 is a big ass, beautiful poster, and they will ship before the book ships, which means back that poster. You can also get Battle Brick Road by itself.
So we have a tier for each book separately. If you just want to pick a cover, you can go for it. And then the tiers from here on out sort of stair step. You can get 2 covers. You can get a cover plus a sketch. And all of this stuff are also available as add-ons at checkout. So if you want to customize your order a little bit, you can do that.
That's great.
Towards the bottom, we have 3 tiers that are more of the high dollar tier, and that is you have original artwork at $200 and $300. You can either get a penciled page or an inked page. All of the penciled pages are in chapter 1 of this book, and all of the inked pages are in chapter 2, because once she arrives in Oz, to sort of, again, a nod, not an obvious black and white to color, but a nod to that transition scene. The artwork goes from being pencils and colored to being inked and colored. So there's going to be just a small, subtle difference there. But at those price points, you can get a pencil page for $200 or a inked page for $300. And then right this smack dab in the middle is our super fan tier, which gets you everything that's in the $75 tier, plus you get the add-on character sketch and
original art.
Yeah, that will be an original drawing, and you're going to get the what is it called? Campaign exclusive T-shirt, and that is I wore this shirt today, and I wasn't even thinking I was going to be on with Adam Post, but it's going to be this T-shirt, but instead of yellow,
cool,
it's going to be red, and that's the only way to get that T-shirt is to get it. To get the red version will be it's very similar to Malin's Superfan tier or Graveyard Shift, where you can only get the gold logo T-shirt if you back at that tier. So that's the whole idea behind that.
Well, it's fantastic. And guys, for anyone thinking about making their own Indiegogo campaigns, this is a really well thought out campaign. There are a lot of great stretch goals that were accomplished with this. It's very clear. It's very well organized. So it's good for people to look at this and kind of learn too if they're thinking about doing it. Now, tomorrow you head out to Oklahoma.
Yep.
But so just in case I wasn't clear enough, everybody back Battle Brick Road. Also, Eric has a very cool YouTube channel where he does live streams, but he also does some commentary, and he'll also do video. He does some like how to letter, because we didn't even talk about that much, but Eric is the super ninja letterer that we all kind of rely on, especially like just to make stuff look great. He's lettered for Ethan Van Sciver and for John Malin. Basically, for anybody who's anybody, they trust Eric. So he's got some how-to on lettering stuff as well, which it's worth a look, even if you're already a professional letterer, just to see how he composes and explains what he does and what his thinking is. Because there's a lot of different ways to letter, right?
Yeah, there absolutely is. And I'm in the infant stages of building a website called howtolettercomics.com, and I will be giving all of my not all of my tricks, but I'm going to be teaching, basically having videos and tutorials and downloads on just how to make your books look more professional. And if you don't want to deal with any of that, you can just hire me and I will deal with all of that.
But it's very cool to do a how-to site like that, and it's something like Clayton can refer people to who has how to draw comics, because he doesn't really specialize in lettering, and you can refer people back to him. And it's, look, if you know how to promote your books and produce your books, that's fantastic. If the lettering doesn't look right, even if it's technically correct or acceptable, but it doesn't look good, you lose value. You disappoint.
I think it can really ruin a book. And I did a stream with a couple of months ago about lettering, and we did a little example of lettering a page from Applicator 3, lettering it like I would normally do it, and then quote unquote bad lettering with using Comic Sans and having balloons in the wrong spot and all that kind of stuff. It was a lot of fun.
It pains me to even talk about, but it's true. So so subscribe to his channel. You can find that just by going to Eric Weathers, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, on
or
YouTube.
howtolettercomics.com as well.
or howtolettercomics.com. You can subscribe that way. Also, back Battlebrook Road. Subscribe to my channel, click the bell for notifications. And I'm going to click us onto the Mermaids while you tell us about your planned journey tomorrow to go see Vaughn. Just so everybody can get a chance to see the Mermaids is moving along. I'm excited about it. We're all excited about it. And this is my current project. But I want to economize a little on time. So, Eric, I'll go through this while you're talking. Unrelated images to Von Krause.
Well, and I got a jet. I hear my family at the door.
Yep.
So tomorrow afternoon, I'll be traveling south towards Oklahoma, the land of Joe Exotic, to go sign Monster MD with Von Klaus. He only lives about 2.5 hours away, so just a short trip south. Gonna hang out, probably stay there, crash on his couch, sign. I got 3,000 books to sign.
Wow, you're gonna be signing 3,000 books.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun, long evening, but I'll be back.
Your contribution on Monster MD was lettering?
Yeah, it was lettering. Yeah.
Okay.
And that was one of the things, like it was a stretch goal or something that we did where if, 75 or 60 grand or whatever it was, however long ago, I would be added to the list of names that would sign. So now it's me and Vaughn, but it was a fun little thing to do, and it'll be fun for hopefully people to, I don't have a lot of my signatures out there as a letterer. A few books I've done. I lettered the book plates on the Allegiance books, and I lettered, I signed the book plates on the Allegiance books, and I signed some books for Guardians of Urloth. There are like 10 or 12 of those that I signed. But other than that, my signature as a letterer on books is very, very rare. So,
are you guys going to live stream it all tomorrow?
Oh yeah, we're gonna do something like that for sure.
Okay, if you don't have a destination, or if you want to jump on my channel anytime, just hit me up and we'll screw around. But if you have a plan, you have a plan. But otherwise, just let me know. I'll make myself available. I love the idea of you guys getting together and signing books.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun.
Send him my love. He knows how I feel. He's great people. And guys, if you haven't heard, Monster MD is in print. Vaughn has shown printed copies of it already, and Eric's going to go sign the physical books. They're going to start shipping very, very soon. And if you haven't backed Monster MD, you're crazy. Look it up on Indiegogo, and you can back a copy, and you're going to be getting it in a matter of weeks, really.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for supporting Eric's book. Thanks for staying with us on the channel, subscribing. It's really appreciated. I'm going to continue to do these 9 o'clock shows. Hopefully I can get more cool people like Eric Weathers helping me out to do great shows. Eric, again, thank you for spending the time. Really, really happy for you with the success of Battlebrook Road, hard-earned, and very, very cool to see it coming together, brother.
Thank you very much, Adam. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Have a great night, guys. And if I don't see you soon, I will miss you. I'll see you tomorrow night, guys.